last January, I bought the Prince Tour 100p, Textreme Tour 100p. This is the 2015 version, and I kind of hurried to buy it because I wanted the softer version. I didn't want the one that was stiffened up for 2019. And I'm glad I did that. I think given the amount of power that this packs compared to what I've used before, I've got plenty of power in this package right here. So I'm pretty happy with it. I've been experimenting with strings, and I think this is kind of a thing where you need to experiment with strings. It's got this 18 by 20 pattern, and you know, it's really not that different from this 16 by 19 pattern. It's a 100 square inch head. It's pretty open, and I'm getting plenty of spin. It doesn't really seem like an 18 by 20 pattern that can feel kind of deader than a 16 by 19. The thing is, again, this has plenty of power, and so I'm trying to tame it a bit. I started out using synthetic gut in the mid-range, and that just didn't work. That was just too powerful as it involves long. So I put some poly in here, a poly blend at a low tension. I'm going to cut these things out next and try multi-filament at a really tighter tension right towards the end there, maybe 54 pounds. But yeah, right now I'm kind of trying to dial in the strings for this. It moves really well. It's very maneuverable. I really admire that compared to what I had before. This is, I haven't weighed this how I've got it right now. This here is like 12 1/3 ounces, and this is what I've been using for about 20 years now. So I'm using this as kind of a benchmark. This is a Vocal C9. It's the little brother to the Vocal C10. So I've got a little comparison chart here, how I kind of stack the two. And this is what it looks like. I don't know if you can get that okay. There's more power in the Prince. There's more control in the Vocal. Partly that's because the Vocal is heavier. Four hands, I give the edge to the Prince just a bit. There's a lot more power, and it's nice for me, and this is why I got this. It's nice for me to have some put-away power for a change, instead of having to throw my body into everything. This can give it some giddy up and go. The backhand, I don't rate it as highly as the Vocal because I'm still getting the hang of putting topspin on my backhand. I got a one-handed backhand. It's fantastic. The Prince is phenomenal for a slice backhand. Absolutely fantastic. The serve, it's just with the larger size, head and everything, the lighter weight, it just seems easier to serve and do well. The volleys are about the same. So that's that. All told, I'm going to modify this a little bit. I'm telling you, I'm dialing in some string. I bought this over the Phantom Pro because it felt like it had a little extra power, a little extra stiffness. I wanted some free cheap points, and I am getting free cheap points with this. I'm happy with that. I'm not having to work as hard for what I'm getting. At the same time, I'm hitting some balls long, so I'm kind of concerned about that. I'm going to put a leather grip on here. I might put a little lead tape up at the top here. It'll help with some stability on some touch shots. But like I said, I think once I get this pattern a little kind of on the tight side, little stiffer, it's not going to be spraying balls out. But so far so good. I'm happy with this. I suspect that people will prefer the 2015 version to the 2019 version, because I really don't think this kind of a racket needs stiffness. I think there's plenty of power in this racket as it is. Plenty of power. And the kind of player that's going to gravitate to this really doesn't need power, he needs control. So a stiffer racket, not so good. The 2019, for me, not so good. 2015 is where it's at, and I'm pretty happy with this. I'm spending the summer working on figuring it out, getting used to it, and it's been good so far. Happy with the results. Adios.